Okay, guys, this is a review for those of you who have already done the third grade lessons, or it is the beginning of your lessons if you are new to fourth grade GT. All right, this year we will be doing some activities called hands-on equations. And in your bag, you will have a blue and a white pawn, similar to a game piece from the game Sorry. And then you have number cubes. For the review, or for the third grade lessons, we only use the blue pawn and the red cubes. Okay, for hands-on equations and math in general, whenever you have an equation with an equal sign, one side of the equation has to equal the other side of the equation. And right here, this is to represent a balance. Now, with an equation, you want your balance to stay balanced by one side of the equation equaling the other side of the equation. An example would be 2 plus 3 equals 5. Well, 2 plus 3 is on one side, 5 is on the other, and there's an equal sign in the middle, and we know that 2 plus 3 is equivalent to the numeral 5. All right, for hands-on equations, your first task is to set up your board, your balance board in front of you. All right, on one side of the equation, we have 4x plus 2. Your x's are your blue pawns. So we would get 4 of these. And in front of you, that would be your your blue game pieces, your pawns. And then it's plus 2, so I would get a 2 number cube. Now on the other side of my balance, the other side of the equation is 3x, so that is 3 blue pawns. Okay, there's 3 blue pawns plus 9. So I get a number 9 number cube if you have the cubes in front of you. For this, we'll put an 8 and a 1 because that is also 9. Okay, now with hands-on equations, we have what we call legal moves. Remember, the goal is to keep your balance balanced. One side cannot hold more than the other side. In order to stay that way, if I was to take a blue pawn away from one side, I would also need to take it away from the other side. Okay, so now I've got one pawn off of one side and one pawn off of the other side. I'm going to try to get rid of as many pawns as I can. I took one from the left, so I also have to take one from the right. Okay, and then if I take one from the left, I also have to take one from the right. So right now we know that x plus 2 is equal to 9. Because remember, 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, some number plus 2 equals 9. Well, what number plus 2 equals 9? You should have been thinking 7. So we have just determined that x, or our blue pawn, is equal to 7. Now, what you have to do is reset your balance. So we had 4x plus 2, and then we also had 9, but we had 3x plus 9. You have to reset it, and then you're going to check and see if it actually works. If our blue pawn was a 7, if x was 7, well, what's 4 x's? Well, 4 x's, 4 7s would be 28. 28 plus 2 is 30. Okay, so we said 4 x's means 4 7s, which is 28. And I know that I'm writing a little messy, but that's because I'm using the mouse. Plus 2. Well, 28 plus 2 gives us 30. All right, and this side, let's see if we're equal. 3 7s, because remember, it's 3 x's and x is 7. 3 7s is 21. And then 21 plus 9 gives us 30. 30 is equal to 30, so we have just proven our answer correct. Now let's go to our next slide. We have another equation, and the equation is 5x plus 2 equals 2x plus 14. For this one, I want you guys to set it up on your board in front of you, or if you're viewing this at home, you can go along with me and you can draw it in a notebook or on a sheet of paper. 5x plus 2. Well, I need 5 x's, and remember that's blue ponds, so 5 blue ponds. And it was plus 2 is equal to 2 x's plus 14. Now, on your number cubes, you will have a 10. Let's see. And what we'll do instead is a 5 and a 5 for 10 plus 4. So we've got 14. 5x plus 2 equals 2x plus 14. Now remember, to do our to get our as many number cubes gone as possible, to make this a little easier to figure out, we're going to do our legal moves. If I take one x from one side, I have to do the same thing to the other. If I take an x from this side, I have to do the same thing to the other. All right, so guys, now we have 3 x's plus 2 is equal to 14. 3 x's, 3 of a number, plus 2 gives me 14. Well, I'm thinking something plus 2 is 14. Well, what if I took that 2 off of 14 to help me figure out what numbers I'm really playing with here? So that means these have, I'm going to circle them, need to equal 12, because 12 plus 2 is equal to 14. All right, that made it a little easier for me. So then if there's 3 of these and they equal 12, what is one of them equal to? Well, you should have said one of them would be equal to 4. So right now we have, let me get back to the select. We've decided that one triangle equals 4. Okay, now I'm going to reset. Let's get rid of our numbers. And let's set it back up. 5 x's. Now reset this side, so I've got my 2 x's plus 14. All right, we are saying that x is 4. All right, if x is 4, I'm going to get my pen, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. That means 5 4s. This is equal to 20. And then we have plus 2. Well, 20 plus 2 is 22. Hopefully, my left side will equal my right side. All right, x is 4, and I have 2 x's, so 2 4s. Well, that's 8. And 8 plus 14. Well, I know 10 plus 14 is 24, and this is 2 less, so my answer on this side is also 22. We have determined by our check that we got the correct answer, and x is equal to 4. Okay, now you are ready to answer the questions in your packet. If you are watching this in class, you can go ahead and get your materials. If you're watching it at home, thank you for watching, and I look forward to you working in class.